One morning, two men were cleaning Gordon after he had acted rather foolishly and ended up rolling off of the turntable and into a muddy ditch. "Mind my eyes," grumbled Gordon. "Have you ever seen so much mud?" said one of the cleaners. "No, I haven't," said the other. "You ought to be ashamed, Gordon, letting yourself get so dirty." "Huh," thought Gordon. "I don't have time to worry about my appearance like some engines do." The hosing and scrubbing suddenly stopped. Gordon opened his eyes, but quickly closed them again when he saw who was standing in front of him. "Wake up, Gordon," said Sir Topham Hatt, "and listen to me. Given your recent behavior, I've decided that you will pull no more coaches until you prove to me that you can be a really useful engine. Perhaps pulling freight cars for a while will teach you a lesson." "Yes, sir," said Gordon quietly. So Gordon had to spend his time pulling and pushing freight cars. Freight trains," he muttered. "Oh, the shame of it." And he bumped the freight cars fiercely. "Oh, oh, oh!" cried the cars, as he shunted them around the yard. James was standing nearby watching him. "Cars will be cars," he said. "They won't with me," grunted Gordon. "I'll teach them." "They tried to push me down the hill this morning," he explained. "It's slippery there, so you'll probably need help." "I don't need help on hills," huffed James. Gordon laughed and headed off to get ready for his next train. "Come on, James," said his driver. "It's almost time for the express." And with that, James puffed away to collect his waiting coaches. The conductor soon blew his whistle, and James puffed away. Come on," he puffed to the coaches. The train was soon running nicely, and James began to feel confident. "Slippery hills indeed. I don't need help," he puffed. James soon arrived at the next station. He was feeling very pleased with himself, but he kept thinking about what Gordon had said. "I'll show Gordon who needs help on hills," he said to himself. But soon, James reached the bottom of the hill. Strong winds from the sea made the hill hard to climb. Leaves fallen from the nearby trees were now covering the rails, and the recent rainfall meant they were too heavy to be blown away by the wind. "I'll do it! I'll do it!" he puffed. But his wheels slipped on the leaves. "I must do it! I must do it!" he panted. But try as he might, his wheels kept on slipping, and he couldn't pull the train at all. "Help! Help!" cried James. His wheels were turning forwards, but the heavy coaches pulled him backwards, and soon the whole train started slipping down the hill. James's driver applied the brakes, then, going carefully, reversed the train back down the hill, and they headed back to the station. When they arrived, they found Gordon waiting, who had seen everything. "I thought you said you could climb hills," he chuckled. James didn't answer. He had no steam left to say anything. "Ah, well, we live and learn," said Gordon. "Never mind, little James. I'm going to push you from behind. Whistle when you're ready." "I'm ready," called James. "So am I," replied Gordon. "Pull hard." "We'll do it," puffed James. Clouds of smoke and steam towered from the snorting engines as they struggled up the hill. "We can do it," puffed James. "We will do it," puffed Gordon. Finally, the two engines reached the top. We've done it! We've done it! They puffed. The two weary engines were puffed out, but they continued onwards to the next station. And it wasn't long before they arrived. "Thank you, Gordon," whistled James. Gordon whistled goodbye as he watched James puff away. Then, slowly, he trundled back to his waiting freight cars. Gordon and the foolish freight cars. Maintenance is an important part of keeping a railway running safely. Tracks need to be fixed, and points must be mended to ensure the safety of people and engines. Early one morning, Sir Topham Hatt arrived at Tidmouth Sheds to make an important announcement. "Some maintenance work is being done on the section of the main line between Marin and Kelsdorp Road, so I've decided it will be safer for all of you if we close that part of the line until the work is complete. This means that many of you have to do different jobs so we can keep things running smoothly, but I'm sure you all manage. Thomas and Emily, please look after the passengers and make sure they can still reach their destinations without confusion or delay." "Yes, sir," replied the engines. "Percy, I need you to run Thomas's branch line." "Yes, sir," he replied. Then Sir Topham Hatt turned to Gordon. "And I have an important job for you too, Gordon," he said. "The workmen need some supplies delivered to the worksite, so while the other engines are busy, I will need you to deliver them." "But sir, what about the express?" "Unfortunately, we've had to cancel all express trains while the work is being carried out. We can't have high-speed trains passing through an area that's being repaired. It's just not safe." "Cancelled? But sir, you can't cancel the express. It's the most important service on the island, and far more important than delivering some freight cars." "Now, Gordon, I know how much the express means to you, but it's far more important right now that we get the line repaired as soon as we can. You can go back to pulling the express once the work has been completed." "Oh, if I must." And with that, Sir Topham Hatt turned and headed off to attend to other things. What's Sir Topham Hatt thinking, making me take dirty freight cars from dirty sidings?
He's just trying to make sure that this here railway keeps running smoothly and that all the passengers can reach their destinations on time, said Emily. We all need to make the most of this here time while repairs are being carried out, and besides, Sir Topham Hatt has given you an important job. I thought an important engine like y'all would appreciate that.
Freight trains are just not suitable for a grand engine like me, Gordon went on. It wouldn't be dignified.
That's enough, Gordon, said his fireman. Come on now. The workmen are expecting these freight cars to be delivered. We don't want to delay them any further.
Oh, all right. The sooner we get this job over with, the sooner I can be back pulling the express.
Gordon was still sulking when he arrived at the yard. The freight cars eyed him with interest.
What's this great blue galloping sausage doing in our yard? They shrieked. We want a proper engine, like Henry or Edward. Stop that, called Gordon. You've got me today, the fastest engine on Sodor, and I'll have no nonsense from you.
We will give him nonsense, they chuckled to each other. But Gordon didn't hear them. Soon Gordon reached the bottom of the hill. As he started to climb, he noticed the train felt heavier and realized the freight cars had started their tricks.
Hold back! Hold back! They cried.
Gordon struggled on, and finally managed to reach the top of the hill. On! Faster! Faster! Cried the cars. They surged forward, pushing Gordon down the hill.
Whoa! Please stop!
Cried Gordon in alarm.
Well done, driver. You stopped the freight cars. I'll have no more trouble from you cars, said Gordon firmly. We have got to deliver this freight.
You always have to spoil the fun. Gordon soon arrived at the worksite, and the workmen were pleased to see him. "Thank you for bringing these supplies, Gordon," said a workman. "Now we can finish up these repairs."
"You're very welcome," puffed Gordon proudly.
With that, Gordon headed back to the sheds to tell the other engines about his freight car-filled day.